Elves Show, part of the Elves Network. We are a bunch of wild and crazy Cleveland Browns fans, bringing you all the latest in Browns news. Tune in now. Thursday night. Hey. Hello, Steve. Hey.
Hello, John. You're looking live at us.
We're the most handsome fellows, podcasters of all time. Actually, it was funny. Lou Marconi and I were talking the other day on his our Stirring the Pot show. And Lou, used to be a pro wrestler, and he had this whole thing on the most handsome wrestler, the whole take on the commercial with what's the beer that the guy would sit there, the most sophisticated man.
The most sophisticated man in the world, Dos Equis.
Yes. So Lou did this whole bit when he was a pro wrestler where he'd say the most dazzling, charming wrestler in the world. I guess it went for a while. It was kind of a good gig, he said. So that was fun. We had that story on Monday night. So welcome, Steve. It is a Thursday night. It is April 21st, and the Browns are gearing up for their final preseason game on Saturday afternoon at 1 o'clock down at the stadium. How are you this evening in Nashville? You're back in Nashville, I take it.
I am in Nashville, in my office, as always. And, the weather's really nice. The cold front moved through. It's, still like lower 90s, but no humidity. It's nice. Next week, Sunday, another cold front's going to move through, and it's going to be really nice.
70-degree weather. I'll try to blow real hard and blow that wind further. So
one day next week, the low is going to be 58. Which
wow! Open the windows.
This past summer, it's just been stifling. I think one day earlier in this week, officially at the airport, they hit 101, which makes no sense because nobody lives at the airport. Old George Carlin joke. Part of his routine.
I love it. That is classic. Oh my gosh. No, it's the Fanatical Elves Network on Thursday night. We like to bring you the weather report. So thank you very much, Steve Gill. Weather here in the Buckeye State, I'm down here in Columbus, is beautiful as well. Low 70s. We're just enjoying every bit of it. And it sounds like it's going to stay that way, especially up here in the Ohio area. Looking at a little glimpse of a feel of fall, just a little bit.
Just in time for football.
Yes, Friday night here, we start in Ohio. Most teams are playing their first games. Are they doing that down in Nashville? Tennessee?
I don't know when high school football kicks up. It should be soon. They started back to Clax on August 5th, so we should be getting around to that time.
Got it. Well, this is the Fanatical Elves Show. We're part of Fans First Sports Network. We have, I sent out some messages earlier in the week. Steve, I think, had reposted some of that on the X and looking for a new potential podcaster or two, and so had a chance to talk to a few folks and enjoyed that. If you have any interest in the Fanatical Elves or being part of our crew, let us know. DM us on our X page or Facebook page or wherever you can find us. We're on YouTube. We even have TikTok now. Boy, there's some of our TikTok videos. Steve, you've had a couple TikToks that have exploded.
I noticed that.
You're very popular with your takes.
I express my opinion, and I'm not afraid to say it, and I don't care. I personally have never really cared what people think of me. I just don't.
No, and I think it's very interesting too, because you say that, and I agree, and I think we're going to jump into this whole conversation with the Browns and gearing up for this game. We know that Joe Flacco is going to start. It was reported today that the starters will start anywhere between 20 and 25 snaps, depending on the individual players. And then after that, we'll see probably Dylan Gabriel first, and then Shedeur Sanders, and that Kenny Pickett is not going to suit up. Mr. How do you describe him off air? Mr. what?
Oh, Mr. IR. That's what he is. That's probably where he's going to end up, if you want my personal opinion.
Isn't it interesting though? I mean, he's still been working out with the team. It's almost like, it's one of these things that teams do. Like it's their way of sort of getting him out of the picture, correct?
Well, I think when they traded for him, they liked him. I mean, like I keep saying, the quarterback room at the time was
Mm-hmm.
uh, Deshaun Watson and DTR. That doesn't scare the hell out of anybody. And I think they kind of liked him. I mean, and
Mm-hmm.
he's been injured. You want to get value for him. I don't know if their plan was to have him start. Um, I think the plan was to have him come in and compete. And, at the time, they didn't know you know, who
Mm-hmm.
they were going to draft or who they were going to sign. So, yeah, I think they liked him. But
Mm-hmm.
I just can't. I keep saying this. I can't see him keeping four quarterbacks on the roster. Maybe initially they might,
Yes,
like they
you've
did
been
last
saying
year
this.
with
Yeah.
with
Mm-hmm.
Huntley. But you don't keep four quarterbacks for more than a week. So
Sure.
but
Yeah,
I can see
it's
him
an interesting topic.
yeah, I can see him stash him on the IR. I'll give him a little time to work things out with the other quarterbacks. I think Flacco. I keep hearing that the people that I know that went to training camp said he's head and shoulders the best quarterback they got. He's the he has it.
Mm-hmm.
He looks like the best quarterback they have. I mean, he makes the throws, he makes the plays. We'll see Saturday afternoon how it all goes. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I feel good about Joe Flacco starting, and I don't know what they're going to do with Kenny Pickett. Right now, like I said, I'm inclined to think they might put him on IR. That way,
Mm-hmm.
they can delay the decision,
Mm-hmm.
and he can come back after 4 weeks,
Mm-hmm.
and then they can make their roster moves. They got more important positional needs they need to take care of
Mm-hmm.
than quarterback.
But the hot topic in today, Shador spoke, Stefanski spoke. I like Shador's demeanor. I know you've talked about all these quarterbacks and how Dylan's probably a little bit further along, and many of us, I know Joel Cade and I talked about it again. And the Joel Cade's explanation, I kind of leaned toward Joel's explanation, and he agreed that, like you've already said, that Dylan Gabriel is probably a little bit further along with his learning. They did a lot more plays under center, like you've also mentioned in your show, Dog Pound South on Sundays. Check it out. Those things, but then he was like showing that eventually he expects Shador, because of who he is and his physique and his ability to play just football, that he'll probably overtake Dylan Gabriel. I've always said that
He
Dylan
could.
Gabriel will be no more than a lifetime backup. He'll get some starts throughout his career, but I don't see him as being that franchise guy. That's just me. So I do see Shador, not like you've already said, not quite being where Dylan is with the learning curve, but that Shador eventually will just naturally kind of overtake him. Do you think of it
I don't
in
know if
terms of,
he'll
yeah,
overtake him this season.
yeah,
I think the ceiling on Sanders, we don't know what the ceiling is going to be on Sanders right now, and nobody does. Uh, I agree, Dylan Gabriel. He'll probably play in this league 10, 12 years.
mm-hmm,
Quality starter when he's asked to do it. Who knows? He may have one or two of those Sam Darnold years
uh-huh,
that always surprises people. Something like that. It can happen. What impressed me, and this is my pet peeve about the game, is he got those players up to the line of scrimmage,
mm-hmm,
15, 16 seconds left on the play clock.
mm-hmm,
I love that.
mm-hmm,
And that's just being able to communicate to your teammates in the huddle the play that is being called.
mm-hmm,
He was quick, decisive, boom. You don't stand back there and read it out. You get the plays in, get the players set up, and then you can make the
mm-hmm,
plays. I was very impressed on the third down conversion rate. Geez,
mm-hmm,
holy moly! And
mm-hmm,
the way he ran the offense, they were
mm-hmm,
manageable third downs.
mm-hmm,
So I was very impressed with all that.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, he made a couple
What?
decisions. That fumble was definitely on him. You
Mhm.
can blame the interception on the offense because, yeah,
Mhm.
it was, but he should have thrown the ball away. He was trying to
Mhm.
make a play. I understand that. And it's a preseason game, so I'm not going to get my panties in a wad about it. So, yeah, um, I think he's a little ahead, mainly because of the offenses he's been in at three different schools, over 60 something starts in college.
Yeah.
So, yeah, sure, he'd be a little ahead just
Absolutely.
on that
That's just
fact.
more snaps, more reps, and all of
But,
that. Yeah.
I am not going to sit here and say right now the Browns have to draft a quarterback next year,
Yeah, that's just been driving me
because let's
crazy
just
again the
wait and
last.
see what these two guys can do. Like like I said, we don't know Sanders' ceiling. He could be that guy next year. He could be. And Gabriel could be his backup. I
Mhm.
would be perfectly happy with that. I don't
Mhm.
care who, if they can go into next year with a franchise quarterback already in hand,
Mhm.
ideal situation.
Yeah, it drives me crazy because that tune of trying to get the Texas quarterback again abruptly started up again this week when the Texas kid said something about, well, I didn't say that exactly, that I'm not going to go into the 2026 draft. And so then everybody decided to fire off new draft mock drafts and Field Yates and everybody. And so it just continues to make Cleveland and the Brown situation and the quarterback situation seem like it's out of control. And that's the annoying part with local media and even national media people. It's not that it's not that way. We know that locally, obviously, there are we're all watching this and seeing what's going to happen. And I think, Steve, you're right. I mean, these players are going to be given an opportunity. And as a lifelong fan like you would certainly, from what we've already seen, the quarterback play is better than it has been over the last few years anyway. And let's see what
Well,
we
it's better
got.
than last year.
Right. Well, exactly.
And
The
2 years ago,
Yeah,
they won with PJ Walker. I mean, come on. And they won an important
absolutely.
game with DTR. You
That's
know,
unbelievable after watching what he did against us in the
I
preseason
tell
game
you,
last
man,
week.
anybody who thinks that this training camp has been soft, uh, just ask the
Well,
Philadelphia players. I guarantee you they're going to say it wasn't soft. Those 2-day practices I heard were
I'm
pretty
still
damn physical.
Steve, I agree with that, and I've seen that, and I've heard that, and I've witnessed it. I see some of that, but it still annoys me. And I talked about this on my show last night that them sitting, especially the rookies, really annoy me. You know, Mason Graham and Carson Schwessinger and Dylan Sampson, who are all rookies, running back Dylan Sampson. Why sit them in a preseason game too? I just don't like that. I don't agree with it. I
They
think it's
played the first
dumb.
game.
I think it's just dumb coaching. I don't
I'm
agree. I mean, I'm not. You're not going to
I'm
change my
fine
mind.
with it.
I know you're
I'm
fine with it. I
fine with
just,
it.
but
Did
you
you
don't see
see
the
Monday night?
value. You don't see the value in these guys getting
No,
reps and more reps. Why?
no. They
Why?
they they had a 2-day scrimmage with the Philly starters. I'm good.
I just
Just because
it
you didn't get to see it
no. But here's the
doesn't
thing,
mean
Joe.
it
I know I
doesn't
didn't see
exist.
it.
I've
I
never
didn't
seen
see
the
it.
Eiffel Tower, but I know it's in Paris.
But okay. Joel makes this point the other day, and I'm just coming off of some of the different conversations I've had this week. When Joel was talking about it, and I don't know what how you feel about it, but generally speaking, over the last 10 to 15 years, the way the NFL is run and these practices, it's not like the olden days where it was grinding it out 2 a days, 3 days. These guys work their tails off, and now we just protect them in this huge bubble, pretty much. And now we see players getting injured and whatnot. So, and it's interesting. Somebody like what Joel was saying is it's interesting to him that somebody like Joe Flacco, who's 40 plus years old, is the one not getting hurt because he believes that he was one of these guys who probably grew up in an era where he was still playing hard nosed football. And now these guys go to these practices and yeah, they're playing the Philadelphia Eagles the last couple days, but they're not like hitting, they're not tackling. Yes, they are doing those things more now, but like he's talking about like back in the day. And we just don't we're not building players like we used to, and that's I kind of agree with that, and I think that's part of why I'm annoyed when
Well, back in the
you're
day,
sitting
they
out
had 12 and
rookies in a
4.
preseason game.
Back in the
I don't
day, they
know.
had 12 and 14 game seasons. We got
Yeah.
17 games.
Okay.
So, hey, my only thing with playing in preseason is I want to see the starters first quarter, last preseason game. That's all I ask.
Hmm.
Um, that's it. Flacco comes out, leads them on a 10, 15 play touchdown drive. Sit his ass
That's
down.
it. Yeah.
That I'm good.
What do you?
I
I
mean, if
see.
he throws a long bomb on the first pass and it goes for a touchdown, let's bring him back. But
See, now I'm anticipating. I'm not going to be down there, and I don't know what it's going to look like being the last preseason game down there, but I'm anticipating. I mean, it'll be a good crowd, but the fact that they're, and obviously it makes sense just from the fact that Dylan Gabriel was the third round pick, Shador Sanders was the fifth round pick, that they put in Dylan Gabriel first. I just am sensing like it's going to be very interesting once Joe Flacco sits down to see what those next series look like with Dylan Gabriel. When does he come in? How long does he play? You think he goes into the third quarter and then they let Shador finish out sometime like third,
it
like,
all depends
yeah.
on how long Flacco and the starters then. I mean,
Mm,
let's just face facts. You're not going to see Miles Garrett, and you shouldn't.
mm,
They've still got to decide between Alex Wright and Isaiah McGuire
mhm.
on the other end. Who's going to be the bookend? The way the linebackers are falling. I mean, have we heard anything about Mahmoud Diabete?
I heard
He's been.
something today, but I can't
Oh,
remember.
really?
I did Ethan Green or
Undisclosed
Ethan
location. Undisclosed location. Is he? Well, it's worrisome because Nathaniel Watson got placed
yes,
on IR, and he
he's
was
done.
he was number two middle behind Schlesinger, and
You
that's
liked him, yeah.
Diabate's spot if he's healthy. So I'm kind of hoping
Hmm.
that we'll see all the rookies and they'll get them out quickly. I
Yeah.
mean, Schlesinger made the most of his opportunity the week one,
Hmm.
and then they got him out of there. Same with Mason Graham.
Hmm.
He made the most of his opportunity, got him out of there.
Hmm.
I like to see a little more Dylan Sampson. I'd like to see Jerome Ford.
Let me ask you this:
Um,
so there are rumors. Obviously, they're just rumors, but that the Browns are one
well,
of these
a
teams
reporter reported it.
that they're one team looking for something in a running back. Now, I bring this up because Quinson Junkins, there are people, at least nationally, saying out loud that could he be as one of these candidates who just doesn't sign, returns to the draft next year and gets drafted
That
by
makes no
another team.
sense. That
Okay.
makes no sense. He's going to lose a ton of money.
Mm,
This is basically his agent wanting the same guaranteed contracts that all the second rounders wanted. And
yes.
the Browns saying, we'd love to give you the guaranteed money, but we have to have some protection in case this happens again.
Hmm.
Or it could be the league really hasn't told the Cleveland Browns what the penalty is. They were optimistic there wouldn't be any penalty. Obviously, the league told them there wouldn't be any penalty with Isaiah Bond because he signed.
Because yes.
So I'm leaning more in that direction that
Okay.
maybe the league is dragging their feet on this because the Browns want to know. They were last I heard they were very optimistic that he
Hmm.
wouldn't have any penalty. That's what
Hmm.
my guy told me. He also
Hmm.
told me hopefully it'll be sorted out in a week.
So it's been
Or
a week.
he said soon.
Okay.
So it's telling me it needs to be sorted out. Tells me that the league has somehow got their finger in this, and we know which finger they love to put in the Browns' faces, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I have something to ask you
So
at
I
the
got
end
a
of the
feeling
show.
they're screwing around with this thing. You can blame the agent, you can blame the player, but the player and the agent knows if he sits out this draft, he can't play college. He's already hired an agent.
Hmm.
No NIL money coming in. And if he comes back next year, he'll be a day 3 pick because other
Hmm.
teams will sit there and think, wow, this kid really didn't want to play last year in a perfect situation where he'd be
Mm,
the number one running back. Why the
hmm.
hell should we draft him?
Good observation, Steve. Yeah, really good. Yeah, that's good.
It's
Hey,
all about the
by
Benjamins.
thank you for following us. If you're watching us here on the Fanatical Elves Network, part of Fans First Sports, you can comment on what we're talking about here tonight. And we're on YouTube, Facebook, the X. We're going to pause here for a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. Thank you for coming back to the Fanatical Elf Show. It's a Thursday night. We got Steve Gill over there. I'm John Suchan, part of the Fans First Network. So we were talking about Quinshawn Junkins. There are rumors that the Browns are, looking for other running backs potentially because, like you just also mentioned before the break, Jerome Ford, Dylan Sampson. What do you think is going to happen with all of that? How do you see? Do you still sense that Junkins will be coming back to the team at some point?
I, yeah, I'm just like I said. I don't trust the NFL as a league at
Mm-hmm.
all. Why should I?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I think that might be the holdup. I want to see Jerome Ford in some game situations. I know what he
Mm-hmm.
can do.
Sure.
Um, and this is not the same offense they ran in 23. They're taking some innovations from quarterback coach Bill Musgrave and from offensive coordinator Tommy Rees. So it's going to be similar but different. So I'd like to see what Jerome Ford would do in it. I
Mm-hmm.
think Dylan Sampson is can handle being a starting running back. He did
Yeah.
it at Tennessee last year,
Mm-hmm.
co-offensive player of the year, set a team record in touchdowns,
Mm-hmm.
22 touchdowns. So it's just that third back.
Mm-hmm.
If it isn't Judkins, if he is suspended, then yeah, it makes sense to go look for a veteran running back.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Amante Marshall is great in preseason games, but is he a next king of preseason like John
Jim
Kelly?
John Kelly.
I mean, John Kelly looked great in preseason games too. So, and anyway, I think that Rossini is just putting two to two together and getting six.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to Judkins,
Mm-hmm.
um, I, I would be very happy if they picked up a veteran running back. You need a veteran presence in that
There
running back
aren't
room.
many out there in free agency.
No, but cut down day is coming,
Yes.
and a lot of running backs were drafted in this draft. And
Good
right
point.
now, I think Denver has 5 running backs in training camp.
Okay. What do you think is going to happen ultimately with Kenny Pickett? What you've already said bye bye Kenny Pickett. Do you still
I
hold to
think
that?
he's going to go on the IR. I really do. You put him on IR, he can still be there for 4 weeks. You don't have to worry about him. See how the landscape in the NFL plays out.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd love to have him play in this game so you got some film. I think,
Mm-hmm.
well, Tyler Huntley is probably going to mop up fourth quarter.
Depending on,
And these 3
yeah.
games have given teams film on him.
Mm-hmm.
So, he might pick up a job
Yeah,
because
I suspect that he
quarterbacks are
will.
hard to find.
It was interesting listening to Shador today in his press conference. He did talk about Tyler Huntley a little bit, being a good person to kind of talk to about, how to take on the position and the backup role and all of that. And I just love Shador. I know, like, as a young kid listening to this, and I'm around a lot of kids, in my job. And, I genuinely think that Shador is speaking from the heart. The way that he answers these questions, like even today, I'm so interested by it because it's like they were trying to get him to, say something about Dylan Gabriel. And he keeps saying stuff like, well, the words really don't affect me. These things don't, and maybe they don't, he's just, what he said something like, they don't affect me. What am I going to, how is that going to help me in life? It's, I can't let that stuff affect me. And for a young kid, like I've said before, I hope he really adheres to that he doesn't let some of these outside distractions like your fanboy group there, the Colorado fan club.
Yeah, there should be a lot of people in the stands, all the people flying in from Colorado.
Steve had some kind
Look,
words to
I
say. Not.
understand it. I understand it. When I was president of the Middle Tennessee Bronzebackers, one year, Bill Belichick drafted Eric Zier out of Georgia. Remember Eric Zier?
Yes.
Yes, he had some great preseason games. One
Yes.
in prime time. Oh my gosh. And my phone number, of course, because I was the president, listed on the official website, who to contact if you're interested in joining. And I started getting calls from people who wanted to join. And my first question to anybody who called me was, where are you from in Ohio? And why are you a Browns fan? Because there are people out there who've never been to Ohio for various
Yes.
reasons who are Browns
Yep.
fans.
Yep.
And they would say, no, we're Georgia fans and we want to join so we can watch Eric Zier. And my answer was, why don't you wait till game one to see if he makes the team? He was a third round pick. I mean, why don't you wait to see, make sure he makes the team? Okay. Don't give me your hard earned money now. Just show up game one. I'd give him the location. But man, he's going to make a team. I said, you never know. So yeah, I understand it, but these people are just wow. I mean,
Yeah. Well,
some guy put something out on social media that said that he's found proof that the NFL conspired not to draft Shador Sanders.
well,
Every
that
team
Eric
was
Dickerson
told
came
not.
out. Did you hear that whole
Eric
conversation? He came out.
Dickerson. How many
Well,
times has he been hit in the head? Come on.
well, I hear the thing I also love about Shador, and I'm a big proponent and
That's
fan
like
of him.
listening to
Well, he was
RG3 on
no
social media. Don't
today.
do it.
Shador's out. His mom. I mean, like, here's something. Like, I don't know about you, but we get all this attention to Dion, his dad, but Shador has a mom, and mom was at a middle school today, up there in the suburbs of Cleveland, I think on the west side. And Shador later this afternoon, he was over at St. Ignatius's practice, I think.
Yeah.
There's some video of him circulating of that. So I continue to it's good to see that. Obviously, I know that Shador has a video group that follows him and does all this stuff. And I know that
He's
that's
got a
part of
guy.
he's got a guy. I know it's part of the brand, part of the game plan, but look, it's a good thing. And the kids, and I liked how he said today earlier, and you probably did too. It gives him time to cook. The coaches are giving him time to, and I think that's a really healthy. He himself, not us crazy fans like myself, if he can understand that he's going to sit there and take it all in like a sponge and learn, then I think he'll be even better when he does eventually maybe get a start or two. Would you agree with that?
I just want to look. I was very impressed his first game. He learned as the game went on. He made a lot of mistakes, but he made a lot of good plays. And that made me happy. And he knew he wasn't perfect. He didn't even believe the hype that people were heaping on him. So what I'm looking for, game 3, is I want to see how much he's improved since game 1. That's what only thing I'm looking for. How the coaches are giving him stuff to work on. It's not like they're putting him down. They're trying to help him. For God's sakes, people.
Yeah.
And he is learning. He's not learning this on his own. He's not dialing up a YouTube video how to play quarterback. He is following the coach's instructions, and if he follows their instructions, he improves. So, how are they putting him down by helping him improve? Explain that to me like I'm a 9-year-old. So I just want to see how much he's improved since game 1. Let's see him get up
What
the
else
line
are you
of
going to
scrimmage
watch
quicker.
for in the game on Saturday? What are some other players and other situations?
I want to
you're
see the
interested
starting
in?
offensive line, of course. I was concerned about the backup guards, but both Tavon Jenkins and Zach Zinner played way better against the Eagles. Very happy with that. I still think they need a number 4 tackle. Barton Jackson, I got a feeling this game will determine if he'll be on the roster or not. I'm getting a little concerned about the linebacker group, kind of whittling down a little bit. Wide receiver, I want to see Isaiah Bond. I really do. They
He might be the diamond in the rough.
he
If
might be. He
and
might push
Jamari Thrash,
Devontae Johnson off the.
Jamari Thrash, your buddy, the one your favorite from
He's
a
doing
year
great.
ago. I was
He's doing great.
very impressed. That could be like how Donovan Peoples Jones. I know different type, but that whole thing with him playing and then when anyway, I just think Thrash has that. He very impressed seeing what he could do in just catching the ball and learning how to be a better receiver. So
Yeah, he's stepped up his game. Really worked on it in the off season. He looks bigger. Um, I still want to see LeVar and Caden Davis.
yeah, that
I'd
kid
like
Davis
to
kid, I
see.
like. Yeah,
Yeah, well, he's got experience. He played for the Broncos, so and I also
yes,
want to see DeAndre Carter. I know they've. At first, I thought they were keeping him out because his roster spot wasn't a lock. We saw uh, Gage and Caden Davis returning kicks and punts
hmm
last Saturday, and I was told, well, they just, they're keeping him in bubble wrap
okay.
because he's that important, so he's going to make it. So
Who
it's
was the guy that got
basically,
hurt the first game of the season of the regular season? Was it 2 years ago? There was a guy that we brought in, free agent. We thought he was going to be the guy kickoffs, and he like
oh, there have been
dislocated.
many.
There's so many.
There have been many.
It's
I
like,
can't think of his name.
you know what I'm talking about? It was like the
Yeah,
first
I
game
know
of
who
the
exactly
season.
got hurt both years in training camp,
Yeah,
2 years in a row.
yeah.
But
Are you this defense that the Browns are going to be going out there with? You like it? You feel like they're going to be stronger than last year?
of course, last year, I think they're going to be better than 20. They have potential to be better than 23 in 2023 when they were really
Mhm.
good.
So
Better on the road than they were.
Isaiah McGuire, or who's the other?
Alex Wright.
Alex Wright.
I
Those two,
right
yeah,
now, the Briggs trade, which really didn't surprise me
right.
because Aiden Huntington has been playing that
You've
well.
mentioned him a
I
few times
mean,
too. Yeah,
yeah, he's just been a demon, and he can play and he's listed as an end, but he can play defensive tackle. That's
yeah,
why I think everybody thinks they're going to keep 10 defensive linemen, and they think it's going to be 5 and 5. I think it's going to be 4 defensive tackles and 6 defensive ends because both Alex Wright and Aiden Huntington can kick inside.
nice. Yeah.
So
Are you coming out with
yeah,
your
so that
53-man roster here? When are you gonna?
yeah, I'll have an article out tomorrow, my latest one,
Okay.
um, post uh, Nathaniel
Watson's. Yeah, I know
Watson
you were
getting
high on
hurt,
him
and
too. Yeah.
yeah, he got a recovered a fumble in the first
Did you
game
see
and played really well last week
former
against the Eagles.
former linebacker for the Browns, Mac Wilson, right, is playing now for the Cardinals? Remember, was
Really
that? Yes, he's wearing the green dot this year for the
good for
Cardinals. There
him.
was something on NFL Network or the Arizona that they were talking to him about. So,
Well, they can still pick up a free. See, that's why cut down day.
mhm.
I think is going to be very important. You can get a running back if you need one. You can get a fourth tackle. It doesn't have to be somebody who's
Mhm.
starting.
Yeah,
You can pick up a linebacker if you need one. And right now, I don't think Cameron Mitchell is going to make this team. He has
I
been
agree.
victimized by backups 2 weeks in a row. But that means Nick Needham might have a better shot at
Who got
making
an
it. And
interception? Yeah.
yeah, and the undrafted rookie Dom Johnson, who I like.
hmm
And also that might give
Who's
an
gonna?
opportunity for the other undrafted rookie, Donovan McMillan, to make the team. They
What
may
about the
have.
safety position? Where are we looking
Well,
at
he's
Ronnie?
a safety. Chris
Okay, Ronnie
Edmonds is
Hickman,
playing well. Yeah, Ronnie Hickman. I think Rayshon
Grant
Jenkins,
Delpit.
Grant Delpit. I think they're going to carry 5 because Needham can play both safety and corner.
hmm
So I think it's going to go 4 defensive tackles, 6 defensive ends,
Mhm.
5 linebackers, 5 corners, 5 safeties.
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking.
Well, we'll see how close you are. You're probably gonna be pretty close.
Well,
Be good.
I've
I mean,
seen him.
it's a good some good things going on right now. I think I know there's a lot of conversation about the quarterbacks and blah blah blah, but overall, the Browns are projecting. They're moving forward. They had a dismal last season. We got a lot of hope here in Cleveland for a better season.
I'm
I cer-
cautiously optimistic,
Mhm.
which for me is not a lot.
It is a change from what we were thinking a couple of years ago, but I'm just refreshed by the fact that we don't have Deshaun Watson. I know there's a lot of things circulating about that, people that aren't in tune with what's actually going on with the Browns.
He's not going to play again. Believe me. He's done.
People are saying, well,
The
they're gonna have,
owner even said
yes,
he's
that
done.
ship has sailed. Did he not say that?
Swing and a miss.
Swing and a
He
miss.
said,
That's right.
swing and a miss.
Yes. Yes. Hey,
When the
one
guy
last
who
thing I was gonna.
signs the check says he's done, he's done.
My takes the other night, and Joel, we were talking about some different things with the Baltimore Ratbirds. I'm sure you know this, but I
Oh,
wanted your insight. I think
I
it's the
hope the
most
Browns go in
disgusting.
there and kick their
I
ass.
said that last night on my show on the Johnny Cleveland podcast. I said the same damn thing. I
Man,
hope
if
that
I'm
Miles
the
Garrett.
coaching staff,
Oh,
that's whiteboard material all week long.
I'm going for blood. I'm going for chokeholds. I'm going for all. If it has to be the most ultra crazy game of all time, take it to them, stomp them. What they're doing, and this is where, see, Steve, I don't know, probably I'm way off on this, but you talk about the NFL, sticking it to the Browns all the time and flipping the finger. The fact that the Ravens, and I read verbatim from the Ravens webpage the other day of all the pomp and circumstance that they're planning for that day. The NFL is aware of what these all the teams are doing every week. For them to allow that to happen, to let the Browns come in and insult this community at that level
30th anniversary.
Is disgusting. It is.
For those of you who don't
Yeah.
know it, the Ravens open at home week 2 against the Browns, and they are planning a spectacular to celebrate 30 years of stealing another city's team when they got theirs stolen, which is, I to this day I can't figure out how they don't realize that. If I'm Indy, I would do a celebration on the anniversary that they stole the Colts. Just to
you think about it in those terms, it's just even more absurd.
I know,
and Baltimore's
it is
supposed to be the charm city. You're
charm
nothing
city,
close
charm
to that.
my ass.
I was
whatever. I hope Jim Schwartz just fires up that defense, and I hope that Kevin Stefanski just dials up an offense that just humiliates the Baltimore Ravens.
Let's hope so. I know it's for us fans, especially those of us who are older, who know exactly what it was like here 40 years ago. It really is just it hurts to talk about, and the fact that they're doing this is just such an insult at every level. And
I was
I admire
president of
people.
Browns backers. I had to sit on it for 3 years.
I said to this, like, Ozzie Newsome, who was that ran general manager and all that, ran over there with Baltimore. Loved Ozzie Newsome when he played for the Browns. I was a diehard Ozzie Newsome fan. Had a T-shirt, all of that growing up as a young kid. Look, they have had some fine people go through that organization. I get it. And everybody else outside of Cleveland talks about how well run the organization is, and I'm just, it's just, I could care less. I mean, so many of us are just so done with that. Like I said, you just said, Steve, I hope that Jim Schwartz and all those guys don't play nice. I don't want to see any of those Browns players showing any sort of respect to those Ratbirds on the field of play or that damn coach of theirs any. I don't
Yeah,
want.
plus they got a Harbaugh in charge.
Yeah, I don't want to see any smiles from the Browns. That'll anger me more, and that'll be like these Browns players need to understand. They need to get. I hope some people in that organization are talking to these players about. I mean, I know it's game 2, but I hope that they understand what they're planning. I'm sure they are. I mean, we're all talking about
Oh,
it.
they know about it. They'll wait till the week of the game, and we'll see what happens. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. We have a practice against the Rams on Saturday afternoon. By the way, NFL Network again live. 3 straight games,
Really?
3 preseason games on NFL Network.
I did not know that.
I didn't get to
can't
see the
stand-
game live last week because I was busy doing other things. But when I got back to where we're staying, I rewatched the game and they showed it. You know, next week's games, live games, and there it was.
We still get
Rams
blocked
at
here. That's
Cleveland.
stupid on our YouTube TV. We get blocked with the NFL Network because I'm still in the region of Cleveland. So we get the local broadcast when we just get knocked out on the NFL Network. So it works out, but still.
Well, if you have
Steve,
Hulu, you have the
Yeah.
NFL Network. Just telling everybody out there, if you have Hulu, just go to channels. It's alphabetical. Scroll on down. You'll find NFL Network.
Well, I also have the NFL Network on YouTube TV. What I'm saying is here locally, they consider Columbus and the affiliates to be blocked.
Oh.
So they block the actual
Yeah.
that broadcast that you're watching. So we get the Cleveland, you know, the guy, we get Joe Thomas, we get Chris Rose. Yeah. So, well, final takes, Steve, before we let everybody go. And thanks again for finding us here on the Fanatical Elves Network. If you have any interest in being a podcaster with our network, we are looking for some new podcasters to join folks like Steve and Joel and Rod and Sam the Man. So Lou Marconi, send us a DM on the X. Steve, final takes. Anything left?
Yeah. Please come join us. We're just like we say, we're Browns fans just like you. So if you have an opinion about the Cleveland Browns, and we know you're not opinionated, you know, because you're a Browns fan. You're nice and calm, relaxed, good heart condition. You know, you're no stress. But
if you're on blood pressure pills, then you're a Browns fan.
I don't worry about that. It's only a game, John. Final thoughts.
That's a prerequisite.
I just want to see how much the 2 rookie quarterbacks improved from their previous games. I want to see the offense with the starters under Flacco. I hope he gets a couple drives in. That would be really nice. Other than that, no more injuries, please. And let's keep the penalties down. They got a little sloppy last week. But you know, it wasn't as bad as it used to be with the penalties. No. It's just a little sloppy here and there, and it's as to be expected. But let's just have a clean game, efficient game, and no injuries. How about that?
No injuries. I love it. Love it. I think it's going to be fun. I think a lot of people are going to be down there. It'll be nice weather. I don't think it's going to be super hot either up there. So it'll be.
Well, that'll be good for the Colorado fans. They're not used to heat. So when they fly in, because there's going to be hundreds and thousands of them, the way they talk on social media. You know, I have no doubt that the airport's going to be super, super busy on Friday and Saturday.
Everybody, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Have a very good night. Go Brownies. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. I'm playing this music out for you, Steve, since you're living down in Nashville.